In 1913, there was the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 decided to establish the Federal Reserve as a nation central bank, who provides as a national banking system. This is called the Federal Reserve Notes. In 1914, the federal $10 Federal Reserve Notes featuring Andrew Jackson's portrait. In 1918, the Federal Reserve Board begins the currency in $500, $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 at the time of that year. In 1918, the Federal Reserve Board issues or design $1,000 that features Alexander Hamilton. In 1928, Wood S. Schofield added an automobile in front of the Treasury building in the back with the $10. In 1928, the United States decided to add a unique serial number to banknotes in 1928 that year. In 1928, the United States banknotes made a huge and critical change as a currency. This design was made due to making it easier for the public to use and count their money if you think about it. In 1934, there was a $100 gold certificate to banks due to large value transaction. In 1935, $1 Federal Reserve notes featured the Great Seal for the United States. Also in 1935, a man was Victor Lustig was arrested claiming to be using the money-making machine to produce counterfeit currency at the time. In 1941, the Secret Service decided to print. In 1941, the Secret Service decided to print Know Your Money books to educate the American public about the design, also features of the U.S. currency. In 1942, there was a silver certificate and also a Federal Reserve note decided to do something for Hawaii with the money currency if it's overrun or taken over by enemy force, just in case if the United States go to war again. In 1943, BEP decided to print the Allied military currency for the use by Allied invasion forces. In the country Italy, the AMC is designed to help prevent inflation after the Allied forces in Sicily, Austria, Germany, France, and Japan. In 1945, there was a $500 Federal Reserve notes that featured a portrait President William McKinley's portrait. In 1956, there was a law that required "In God We Trust" on all the U.S. currency, and also in the 1963 series Federal Reserve notes. In 1963, Congress decided to forbid some kind of redemption about gold. Another event in 1963 is that the first ATM appeared in New York City. 9. July 14th, the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Department of the Treasury decided to discontinue the $500, $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 currency due to lack of use of those for currency at the time. Imagine we use them in 2022. In 1971, the United States notes also decided to discontinue from that year. In 1976, it was 233rd anniversary of Thomas Jefferson. bird. It was Trumbull's Pain was named the sign of the Declaration of Independence. In 1977, Ashley Taylor Morrison was the first African American or Black woman to have her signature on the Federal Reserve notes at the time of that year. Interesting, right? In 1990, a security threat and Miss and Michael Brin are introduced in the Federal Reserve notes for deter counterfeiting for copies and printing. Also in 1990, the BP Western Currency Facility in Fort Worth from Texas began producing currency, which was also the first government. In 1966. In 1996, the US currency was redesigned to change since the 1920s. The currency started with $100, $50, $20, $10, $5. In that year, in 2000. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and find this video valuable and educational. Have a good day.